I'm afraid there is no sign of Dr. Bill, who is somewhere between baggage claim and Heathrow and us. But Michelle, who's his assistant, has kindly offered to deliver his notes on his behalf. Great. So that's going to happen in his absence, and maybe he'll be here later. Dr. Bill Savage is the acting professor of elective rhetoric at the University of Tasmania, a scientist renowned for his investigative technique known as the experiments. This is a hybrid of the experiment and the experience. A trial by living. Bill's research outlining the psycho-resonance theory of electricity was performed by living in a tin shed in northern Thailand during the storm season. And his groundbreaking defenestration of laissez-faire capitalism burned down a caravan of souks in Morocco. He's hailed in gonzo journalism circles everywhere, lauded by countercultural political movements in some countries, and denounced by budgetary meetings of any university department he has briefly secured tenure. And he's late. His question, however, is you can't beat the system. You there? I could have read more of his experts. After this, we'll take another small moment for conversations within your groups, and then we'll come together to any questions you have for the panel or for other groups or observations you want to make. We'll get stuck in then. We good to go?
Hi, I'm not Bill. I've actually never met Bill, really. I was asked to assist him during his time in London, but unfortunately he's not here. I'm Michelle. I'm an actor. I'm currently working with Coney in the House of Cards in Kensington, so if you want to come and see that, that would be great. Just actually, hang on. Sorry, I have a text. Oh, it's Bill. Right. So, yeah, Bill's not going to make it. He says he's really sorry and that he's sure I'll do a really good job. Right, I'm really sorry. I don't know a whole lot about systems, but I have notes. And Bill's question is, you can't beat the system. So, you can't beat the system. The saying of old hippies everywhere. You can't beat the system, man. We'll look at what that means. What is the system and why you can't beat it. I mean, Bill, why did you keep saying that between 1968 and 1975? I think that's Bill talking to himself, actually. I imagine the answer might be connected to a copious amount of hallucinogenics he was taking at the time. The system for old hippies was the government, the police, an unconquerable authority, a huge mountainous rock face that oppresses down on you with no foothold, no grasp. Blow it up or be oppressed. Right? But two things. The second thing first. A system is people, and change in the system happens between people. The distance between these people is distant. However misquoted, Timothy Leary might have been to tune in, turn on and drop out. There was a palpable drop gulf here to his follower. Wise up to the system, man. I am a notable educationalist. Bill is a notable educationalist. And I always find it useful to think about the playground as the most important system of school. Let's imagine you're a new kid, and when you arrive, you find that the most popular game is teasing the boy with the long hair who looks like a hippie. You have various choices about how you respond to this game. The system. You can conform, join in, although that won't change things. You can confront the system. Perhaps you start yelling from the sidelines, waving placards. Is that going to stop the bully boys? Or is it actually going to make them feel better? That they're doing something right? Because that's what they expect. It's part of their worldview. You could ignore the system, drop out, do your own thing, which is all right for you, but there's still a boy crying himself to sleep each night. Or you could find a way where you can challenge the system. You find the pressure point, the pivot. You observe and see that the ringleader of the bully boys is secretly in love with the princess, who in turn loves the ledge. That's the cool kid, the legend. You start playing the right kind of music to the ledge, played by the right kind of boys with the right kind of hair, and the ledge starts growing his own hair just a little bit longer. So the popular kids start liking the boy's hair to be a little bit longer, and the system changes, gradually, to isolate the leading bully boy who clings on to his destructive behaviour. And then you take him out with a cricket bat. Sorry, it's a joke. A system is people, and you should remember that. And you should also remember what turns people on. They like a good story, and they always like an underdog. Look at Michelle here. She's doing a great job. Right. I said two things. Well, actually, I meant three things, and here's the third thing second. When we old hippies think of the system, we imagine the industrial military complex, like it's a factory somewhere in the Arizona desert, next to Area 51, or Mordor. But the system takes a body corporate and capitalist, and it's all around us, pervading our everyday lives. Take a corporation like Atos. They are a French IT multinational, and now in your UK alone, they are starting to run the computers of the UK Border Agency, the Work Capability Assessment on Disability Benefit, and even the card payment systems for railway tickets at mainline stations. Michel de Certeau wrote in The Practice of Everyday Life about le perruque, his term for the gaps of time in which workers inside the system would be able to do their own thing, unnoticed by the corporation, whether whittling some wood while working on security or playing minesweeper while covering reception. A distributed practice of time towards our own ends and against the system. But what if, in these micro opportunities of time, we try to find ways to change the system from the inside in small human steps? Not just workers, the corporate capitalist system needs us consumers too, and it's a system under pressure. Would the most efficacious challenge on Atos be 1,000 people gathered in demonstration, or 1,000 ways innovated by those people for all of us to make micro challenges to its systems where we meet them in our everyday lives? I said three things, and here's the first thing last. Systems play like systems, and it's very hard for them to shift direction, especially as they're becoming ever more automated, software replacing humans, so we can observe them, learn how they play, and start to play them at their own game. Take the landline telephone, once how we all spoke to each other, now only used by elderly humans preyed on by cold-calling robots. Machines that phone you and ask you if you want to buy insurance or upgrade your heating, that aren't offended if you hang up. I've created 1,000 numbers that are themselves I've created 1,000 numbers that are themselves voicemail machines, and I fill them in on marketing surveys everywhere. Listen to one machine attempt to talk to another. Listen to its heartbreak.
With the your area to understand how energy conscious consumers are. In return for your participation, you'll be entered into a prize draw for £50 worth of Marks and Spencer's vouchers. To opt out of our questionnaire, please press 9 now and we will not contact you again.
No.
Have you ever purchased an electrical item purely because of its energy rating? Please press 1 for yes or 2 for no. Sorry, we didn't detect a response. Please try again. Have you ever purchased an electrical item purely because of its energy rating? Please press 1 for yes or 2 for no. Sorry, we didn't detect a response. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.
Sorry. Now Michelle will tell you about Nigel Clark. Nigel is an everyday systems activist. Corporations deploy telephones as defence systems, making customer service a trial of endurance through a series of automated options diminishing our agency. 8 minutes to get through to a real human being. Nigel has mapped all the phone systems of all the corporations he can get his hands on and posted them online so we can use them to tear through their defences, to speak to a real human being. Nigel Clark is a hero. How can we all be more like Nigel? Now please take out your telephones. If I am not with you already, the least I can do is talk to you myself. Text my surname, Savage, to this number. I don't have any more notes, so you should probably do this. You should probably text all caps, just to guess. Undelivered. Not delivered. Is that your phone? Maybe you should answer it.
When you are